Yes, you should buy a house in 2023.
No, you absolutely should not.
Where to start on this? This guy has no clue what he's talking about. His math is correct, but all the logic behind it is way off base. So ultimately, he said that you have to pay out $1.2 million over the course of 30 years for that average $400,000 house. And his math is correct. His logic, on the other hand, way off base. So if you actually did the math and you went in and you looked at the average annual appreciation of a house, you could see that it's almost anywhere between 3 and 5.5% year over year. So I found a couple of different numbers. One was 5.4% average return over 30 years, or appreciation. And I mean, that's a little bit high in my opinion, but it also depends on when the data set gets started versus what it ends at. But if it was 5.4, you'd have just under $2 million of value in that home. So, you know, pretty good return. So this one right here, I really liked. I love the economics, the data sets on this website. Ultimately, from 92 to 23, we have a 4.58% return. That house is now worth just over $1.5 million. So at that 1.2, you still have $300,000 of positive gain. But when I got into real estate, I was told expect about 3% as a good average return. And that number comes in around $850,000. So you're taking a decent $350,000 loss, but let's look at it as if you rented for those 30 years. Generally, if I buy a rental property, most people buy a rental property, they're looking to rent it for 1% of the purchase price. So if you're buying a $400,000 house, you're looking at about $4,000 a month in rent. But let's say that's probably not going to happen because most renters aren't going to be renting a house. And the average rent in the U.S. is probably around $1,500 a month, and let's call it $2,000 for a single family home. So $2,000 times 12, $24,000 a year times 30, $720,000 a year. So you are taking a $720,000 loss versus taking a $350,000 loss. That doesn't include any benefits of home ownership, tax write-offs, giving to your kids or your family. Plus, you own it at the end of that. And that will drastically reduce how much you pay every month. I'm not going to tell you today is the best time for you to buy a house. It all depends on you, your situation, your finances, how long you plan on living there, etc. Talk to a professional if you're interested in going down this and see what you have to deal with. Always willing to help.